So I have a little bit of breaking news for everybody. This is a really interesting story. I'm very surprised at these new revelations here. Senator Richard Burr is stepping down as the Senate Intelligence Chair during an FBI investigation into him. So the FBI is investigating him because of a stock sale that he did in the early days of COVID-19. So CNBC says the following: Senator Richard Burr stepped down as chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee amid a federal investigation into his stock sales. The announcement came just hours after FBI agents seized Burr's cell phone as part of a criminal probe of 33 stock sales Burr made on February 13th, a week before the markets dived on coronavirus fears. Burr received classified intelligence briefings throughout January and early February that contained dire warnings about the coronavirus. Federal agents served a search warrant Wednesday to Burr's attorney for the senator's cell phone, NBC News reported, citing Justice Department officials. The FBI later went to Burr's home to retrieve the phone. The Los Angeles Times first reported the seizure of Burr's phone. On February 13th, Burr sold stocks worth $630,000 to $1.7 million in a one-day sale involved 33 individual trades. 1 week later, markets began a steep slide as investors panicked over the potential economic damage from coronavirus. As chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Burr was given access to classified intelligence reports in January and early February that contained dire warnings about the coronavirus. Members of Congress are prohibited by law from using non-public information they obtain through their official positions in order to personally profit off the stock market. The Stock Act that codified this ban was signed by President Barack Obama in 2012 after passing the Senate in a 96-3 vote. Burr was one of only 3 senators who voted against the Stock Act. Wow. So what you have here is a senator who was told in briefings, listen, dog, this whole coronavirus thing, it's about to get bad skis. You might want to do a little, if you know what I'm saying. And then Burr was like, all right, bet. And so he sold stocks, tremendous amount of money's worth, and then his brother-in-law did as well. So basically, at the last minute before a market crash, he took insider information, acted on it, and, was able to take out $1.7 million, or up to, I should say, $1.7 million worth of stock. Yeah. See, here's my takeaway from this story. Perhaps it's a little different from others who might read this. My takeaway is, why the hell is it legal for public officials, for public servants, for people in either Congress or the Senate, the House or the Senate, why is it legal for them to own stocks? That alone is a massive conflict of interest. It reminds me of the story, remember the story about Tom Price, who Trump picked to be in his administration. I think he was head of Health and Human Services for a brief amount of time. And people dug into his record. He owns a tremendous amount of health company stocks, and then he was voting on bills that helped those companies, and their stocks went up. It's just a cesspool of corruption. So now not only do you have the traditional kind of political corruption known as campaign contributions, which, what do the campaign contributions do? Hey, you give me money to run my campaign, then when I'm in office, I will serve you, the corporation. That's what that is. That's one form of corruption. Now there's also incredible personal corruption in D.C., where you have, these politicians own stock and they can make decisions that impact the stocks that they own, or they're given insider information, like in this case, and they act on it, whereas everybody else gets screwed, they get thrown out the back door with all the money. Come on, guys. Come on. I honestly believe it should be illegal if you're in the House of Representatives, if you're in the Senate, or if you're the president, or if you're in the cabinet. It should be illegal to own stocks. It should be illegal. You should have to divest from all of your, personal holdings. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because this is there's a massive corrupting influence here. There's a massive conflict of interest. This is not okay. So anyway, but I'm stunned that there's even the appearance that there might be some justice in this case. I'm floored by it. Because usually, like, Tom Price totally got away with the thing I just described, where he owned the health stocks and voted to help those companies. He totally got away with it. Totally got away with it. So most of the time, we look at these facts and it's like, just so scummy. So scummy. But there's no justice. Here, at least it looks like the wheels of justice are turning, although I don't know if he'll actually be found guilty of anything or what have you. But at least something's being done. So, I don't know. But he gave away the game a little bit based off that 2012 vote. Where the Stock Act... Okay, let me read that one more time because that's so important. Members of Congress are prohibited by law from using non-public information that they obtain through their official positions in order to personally profit off the stock market. So if you're a congressman and or you're a senator, you get special information because of your position, you can't use that position to personally profit. That's exactly what he did. But he was one of only 3 people to vote against that bill. You gave it away, bro. You gave it away what you're all about, son. I hope he goes down in flames. I mean, this is maybe, finally we might get some justice, but it's still yet to be seen, and we're going to have to watch it play out.